facing, and he knew shit could get bad for him. And of course, he prayed for the best, with, hope for the best. And he even had a few more mishaps in between with the baby mom and all that type of shit, but he got past all that.
Like trips to prison, trips to jail, getting arrested does not look good for you. And the fact that you've had similar charges in the past and, other videos and other arrests and mugshots, it just don't look good. It looks like almost like a repeat offender.
The domestic violence, his hands are registered. His hands are considered deadly weapons.
Right.
So he is going to be considered like assault with a deadly weapon as well, other than domestic violence.
Is the career of Gervonta "Tank" Davis officially over? With a fresh wave of legal issues coming to light, fans and critics alike are asking if this is truly the final chapter for the boxing superstar. Davis himself has previously acknowledged his personal struggles and the need for help. Yet he stands on the precipice, potentially walking away from the sport without ever facing top contenders like Devin Haney. His repeated conflicts with the law are now casting a shadow so large it threatens to engulf not just his legacy, but his entire future in boxing.
Right, so Tank is on probation for that. So this will be a violation of his probation, but he's a celebrity. Nothing's going to happen. It's going to get a slap on the wrist. He has money and stuff like that. Now, the question I have is this: what's going to happen with the Lamont Roach, rematch? Will that fight still go on? Do you get what I'm saying? Now, I don't expect Tank Davis fans to, they're going to brush it off like it ain't nothing, because that's what they do. They literally, a lot of them worship this guy. So, and I get it, I understand. However, will that fight still go on? That's probably why we haven't heard anything. I was listening to Blue Blood Sports TV, but then when I was listening to his video, guess what? I'm going to show y'all something. Now, some of y'all may say, oh, this is nothing. There's a podcaster that I watch all the time by the name of Ticket TV. I watch a lot of the big podcasters, right? Podcasts, right? I want y'all to see something. Y'all see this right here. Let me show y'all this. As you can see right here, Ticket TV is talking about this. And the title is this: Breaking News, Boxing Superstar Gervonta "Tank" Davis arrested for beating up women, beating up woman.
In the world of professional sports, athletes are held to an incredibly high standard, both inside and outside their competitive arena. For Gervonta Davis, recent events have once again highlighted his personal challenges, especially concerning incidents with the mother of his child. For a public figure of his stature, every action is magnified, and any confrontation, even if not physical, can spiral into a major controversy. When an athlete is perceived to be misusing their power or physical ability, the public reaction is swift and severe. This particular case is drawing widespread concern due to its recurring nature and the individuals involved.
Caused bodily harm to her. Davis was arrested about an hour after the alleged incident and booked on a domestic violence battery charge. Jail records show he's still in police custody. Davis is scheduled to fight Hector Luis Garcia in a much anticipated boxing match on January 7th in Washington, D.C.
Well, that's not happening. I mean, it's not gonna happen, bro. He's not gonna fight.
That fight probably canceled.
The fight's gonna cancel, and his sponsors. If he's fought, I mean, you can't find him guilty right now, but I'm assuming he's gonna get a great lawyer. He has money.
Do we know who the woman is? Because I saw some headlines that said baby mama. And I know what we just read it wasn't specific.
That's what I thought it said too. Yeah.
Like yesterday, right?
Yeah.
When the reports came out.
And that's not even just a domestic violence. His hands are registered. His hands are considered deadly weapons.
Right.
So he is going to be considered like assault with a deadly weapon as well, other than domestic violence.
That's facts.
And that never goes good for a boxer, ever.
For it to be domestic violence, though, one thing that Flacco taught me in Suspect was that if it says domestic violence, then that's somebody that you were in a relationship with.
You didn't know that?
No.
Over the years, Gervonta Davis has navigated several incidents that have tested his reputation and his ability to perform at the highest level. His financial resources and legal teams have, in the past, managed to mitigate any major disruptions to his career. However, the current situation feels more perilous because of the established pattern of these challenges. The legal system often considers an individual's history, which could signal a much stricter response from authorities this time around. Even his staunchest supporters are beginning to worry that the path forward will not be as smooth as it once was.
This couldn't come at a worse time for Tank. Of course, he's chasing that rematch with Lamont Roach, and that big money Netflix fight with Paul. And this case could potentially cancel both of these fights. For the Roach rematch, it's just kind of being assumed that this fight is happening in mid-August. Everyone has seemed to acknowledge that it's happening, yet there's been no official announcement. Why has there been no official announcement? Well, maybe they were/are waiting to see what happens with the case. They have known that this was gonna probably come out for the last month, so maybe they were either bracing for impact or hoping it could be all sorted out. But we're now about a month out from the proposed rematch, and time is running out. Every day that goes by, it looks less and less likely, and the news today certainly won't instill any hope. Even if the rematch does happen, the conditions are about as bad as they can get for Tank. In what might be the highest pressure fight of his career, he won't have a complete camp and would have legal proceedings hanging over his head. Combine this with the fact that he seemed a bit rattled and emotional after the draw, it's either a combination for a great performance or a combination for an absolute train crash.
Moments of intense adversity can often serve as a catalyst for reflection, and many believe this is a defining period in Gervonta Davis's life. While challenges can foster growth, there is a growing concern that past lessons have not been fully learned. Observers point to the fact that despite previous experiences, there has been no discernible change in his behavior or approach. The recurrence of these events only reinforces that perception. Without a fundamental shift in his personal mindset, the current situation could jeopardize not only his boxing future, but also his ability to manage his life and relationships outside the ring.
Facing, and he knew shit could get bad for him. Of course, he prayed for the best, hope for the best, and he even had a few more mishaps in between with the baby mom and all that type of shit, but he got past all that. But that shows his maturity level too, because he kept his head together through all that shit. You know what I mean? So here we at the finishing line with the trouble. I just want him to finish smart, and you know what I mean, and do what he gotta do. Get what he gotta get, you know what I mean?
Given the repeated nature of these charges, the legal outlook for Davis is becoming increasingly precarious. When an individual faces similar allegations multiple times, it provides a compelling reason for the court to consider more severe consequences. Legal experts and commentators widely suggest that the judge in this case may opt for a stricter outcome if the evidence is compelling. Any leniency that might have been available in the past is likely gone. In the world of sports, the legal process has profound implications, affecting everything from public perception to sponsorships and future fight opportunities.
Boxing champion Gervonta "Tank" Davis has been arrested and charged with battery in South Florida. Police allege the Baltimore native assaulted his ex-girlfriend during an argument on Father's Day in Doral, Florida. Davis was arrested and booked by Miami Beach police, and a judge set his bond at $10,000. This is the latest in a long line of run-ins with law enforcement for the World Boxing Association lightweight champ. In 2023, Davis pleaded guilty to 4 traffic offenses in connection with a hit-and-run that injured 4 people in Baltimore. He spent more than 6 weeks in jail after a judge found out he was serving out his home detention at the Four Seasons Hotel Baltimore and a penthouse condo in Locust Point. Davis has also previously faced allegations of domestic violence, though none of those cases against him have resulted in convictions. We have more on this story on thebaltimorebanner.com.
Some observers close to the boxing community speculate that the immense pressure and expectations of professional competition have started to take a toll on Davis on a deeper level. The grueling training, constant public scrutiny, and the demand for unwavering mental fortitude leave little room for emotional equilibrium. For a young athlete juggling fame and personal stress, it's plausible that the overwhelming spotlight has begun to cloud his judgment. His supporters hope that time away from the sport, combined with proper support, could help him find the balance needed to navigate his career and private life in a healthier manner.
Gervonta Davis just got arrested for domestic violence, but this isn't the first time either. Could this have anything to do with what boxing does to your brain? Let's talk about it. So Gervonta Davis has been caught up in legal trouble and domestic violence allegations multiple times over the past few years. See, boxers take repeated hits to the head, not just during their big fights, but while they're sparring throughout training camp as well. Over time, that can cause CTE, a brain disease that messes with memory, emotions, and can cause aggression. CTE can show up in the form of slurred speech or even mood changes. So honest question for y'all is, do you think Gervonta Davis' violence outside of the ring could be linked to CTE? Is this a hidden cost of boxing? I want to hear your thoughts.
Public opinion is largely shaped by patterns, and this case is no exception. Many fans are now voicing their disappointment over the repetitive nature of the issues surrounding Davis's personal life. The concern extends beyond the incidents themselves to his decision-making, particularly his choice to maintain connections that have previously led to damaging consequences. From a career management perspective, relationships that repeatedly generate negative headlines and legal problems can be catastrophic, impacting everything from fight bookings to endorsements. Fans are simply wishing to see better judgment for the sake of his future.
Gervonta Davis is back on the news, and y'all know I'm a Tank fan, but at this point, dude, I can't even support this guy no more. Gervonta Davis arrested at 3:35 a.m. in the morning in Miami for battery and domestic violence charges. I've seen stuff like this from Tank in the past, and everybody try to look past it, but dude, what are we doing? You got everything in the world, all the money, mega fights, you got all the money, you never have to worry about anything ever in the rest of your life. Why are we doing this? Like, I understand he's from a tough background and everything, but at some point you gotta grow up. You're arguably the biggest name in boxing with all these people looking up to you, especially kids looking up to you, talking about, I wanna be like Gervonta Davis. And this is what they see. I don't know what went down, but I see the news article and I just can't support Tank no more. My favorite damn fighter. One of them besides Terrence Crawford. But I don't know what y'all think about the whole situation. I'm just like, man, what are we doing? I guess we're not gonna get the Lamont Roach fight now. I don't know. I know he was on probation before and it was gonna be another great fight. And it's just crazy, man. But what do y'all think about this? And you guys think he actually did it? And are you guys still gonna support Tank after this?
So that's where we stand. Gervonta "Tank" Davis is at a crossroads, with his freedom, his career, and his legacy all hanging in the balance. It's a sad and complicated story with no easy answers. Will he find a way to overcome his demons and salvage his career? Or is this truly the beginning of the end? We want to hear from you. What do you think the future holds for Tank Davis? Is it too late for him to turn things around? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you found this analysis helpful, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
What's good, YouTube? Crown Jewel from Crown Jewel Boxing, back with a gem. Checked out the press conference yesterday. Watched the Rise podcast. 2 days ago, watched the Rise podcast response to it yesterday. And I just have to say, I see a lot of people think that, Tank is bluffing with the retirement talk. Could be. I doubt it, though. And I'm going to tell you why I doubt it. When he talked about wanting to seek therapy and the person he has to be in order to be the fighter that he is, and wanting to be a softer person, for his daughters, and wanting to seek therapy and become a better person and be with his children and lead a limelight. It seemed like a lot of emotion and passion in that. He seemed like he really meant what he was saying. There's a lot that comes with not only boxing, because, all fighters deal with certain things with being a boxer, physically and mentally. But he has to deal with being a celebrity, an international star on top of that. And I can't even imagine that pressure. So, things get old, your whole life gets scrutinized, no matter what moves he makes, it's going to be accepted by some and, ridiculed by others. And some people grow tired of it. Living a public life ain't for everybody. He's been tremendously successful, whatever he decides to do. I wish him well. I think we need to, watch this Lamont Roach fight closely, because we've seen this in the past when Mike Tyson talked about his heart no longer being in it. Or, you heard Buddy McGirt recently come out and say, the fire left him, while he was in camp in the middle of a run. I mean, it happens. And, we don't know how it's going to affect him as a fighter. I would hope, he could find it in himself to be motivated and get prepared, and be the best version of himself. Because, as a Tank fan, I don't want to see him in a ring in any other capacity. If he can't bring himself to be the best version of himself, then I think he should walk away. But regardless of what he decides to do, for people like myself,